Hi YouTube. I just thought I'd have a cigarette and coffee break with you and shoot the breeze. And I don't have anybody else to talk to, so I'm documenting my feelings on a daily basis, and I've just been bombarded lately ever since I wanted to and will write a letter to the state, but on behalf of those children. But it might even I'm not going to put a time limit on it, but or I mean a time, but in my mind I've got a limit on it. But right now I need to recover my um sleep patterns again like normal. I had the weirdest shit happen again lately. You might have heard. I'll give you a brief of what the lonely feeling sabotage that happens to me. For instance, I have a friend named Sarah. We would get along and we do get along. But here comes Doug with his big mouth ways in front of other people and calling this woman and her boyfriend narcs. They're like gonna do something to us and we're not even doing anything illegal. I'm like, so what is your purpose? I asked him, in calling somebody that I like, and he starts an argument in front of her to make me look like a total fool. It was crazy, this one crazy day a few months ago. So okay, I mean, I've tried to have people over here before and it hasn't worked out very well, but he goes out and finds these people, and they're probably really rather nice people, but he met this guy he's been doing some dealings with, and the guy owed him some money. And Doug called him yesterday, and I heard the guy say, "Well, I'll be here. You can stop in." Well, just a little bit a while ago, and he spends time over at this guy's house telling me how he lives out in the woods. It's him and his dad, and his dad gave him 10 acres, and he's building it up and whatever. And um, the same guy that sent a bottle of apple wine over here that I haven't tried yet. But, and okay, but here's the clincher, and I've never met the guy. Um, Instead of waiting for Doug to stop over at his house, their house, he pulls up in the yard just a little while ago here, honking, honking, honking. I've seen the guy, but I've never met him. And him and this woman get out of the truck, and she sees me in the window, and she said, "You must be Barb, or you must be Doug's wife." I said, "Well, I gave him a letter of divorcement, estranged, anytime he wants to go and put his signature on it." Oh, he says, "You're the love of his life." And she repeated, "He's always saying," I said, and he's out there by now. And her husband or boyfriend, they're all outside. And I'm in there explaining to her because of the way he is. I said, "I didn't even know about you." And she introduced herself, and so did I. And, that's happened like probably 2,000 times or more to me. Um, and in previous relationships, just constantly. And I'm a people lover, and if they're not shady, I don't have a problem with people. But I did invite her in, and because she was getting hot, and she's also pregnant. But told her stay cool and goodbye. But you know, and while they're out there, and I told her, I said, um, something about he goes all these places, and but I don't always hear everything in these type. I said, "You know how guys can be, or at least ones like that," I said to her in front of them. And she said, "Oh, he's a busybody." And I'm thinking, "Well, yeah, yeah." And he gets out there. Well, when she sees him, she's like, Dougie. And I'm like, Dougie? Fuck, man. Okay, kick me while I'm down, Satan. Yeah. Then I try and listen to a friend's video, and it's like almost a inconvenience to do a video. It's like that ain't food. If somebody's like the vibe is more narcissistic, like bringing you down, if it doesn't bring you up, like, okay, if my talking about my issues here instead of like, okay, I could go grab the Bible and find a scripture for how I'm feeling, right? But I'm talking to people that have lived through these things and know what's up with the narcissist personality that are actually out there, like the ones you give me a smooch or XXs and loves and stuff, and you know thank you. You're a lifesaver. You save my insanity for real, you know so anyway, yeah. So they all went off into the shop doing their business dealings, and I'm like, and this is my life around here. That's what it's like. If I try and make friends, it doesn't matter. They can't remain mine. Satan has to interfere with his big ugly self continuously. And Doug leads that shit. I cannot prove it. This woman that was here, it's the bloodline. She says to me, she looks just like Yana off of Israel News Live, if you're familiar. Very familiar. Except her hair is my color. I said, geez, your hair looks like mine used to. And she says, is it long? And I turned around and showed her, and she said, really long. Hers was pretty long, too. So, but anyway, pretty enough and nice enough, whatever, it isn't ever and has never been any issues of jealousy because I'm confident. I've always been confident because I love myself. It's just people that don't love me as much as I love me that I have a problem with, So, anyway, and that's true because I think everybody's cute, but they can kind of lose their cuteness with certain actions. Really, yeah. Anyways, certain people are familiar, their spirits are familiar with each other, and I can tell if it's too familiar and or really, let's put it this way. Um these bastards know what the fuck I'm trying to do. Excuse my language, please. They do. They all do. So, how do you prove something? Yeah, really, excuse my language. It's been a rough few days. Yeah, I'm hanging in there. I really don't have a choice, but, making my life go around and staying strong through all the bullshit is the hardest thing. Trying to accomplish things, let alone think into it's not the future like, will I be okay? But making plans for the future, like, a few weeks out or whatever in my life, or if I wanted to go and do something, or how to make money come around to do all the things that I do want to do. Not just money wise, but just things in my life that, like writing that letter. So yeah. And it says to me, well, do I need anything from town? And I said, no, I don't. Then he asked me again, and I just, then he started talking about something else. We were outside before these people came, and I was working out there and doing a few things. And so, anyway, before he goes now, um, he says, yells in the window, I'm going to town. And he says it again, and I'm like, well, don't come back. He's like, what? I didn't even answer him. He heard me the first time. Like, whatever. I don't even care when he's gone. See, that's the thing. And he fucking knows this shit. He could be gone 9, 10 hours. And if I know he's okay, and if I don't, like, I would worry if somebody were in a car accident or something crazy, if there were other circumstances. But if I know he's going somewhere and I could care less, you know, it's just the why? Why? You know, like, I'll tell you why. Because he does not want me to have any friends so he can control the entire situation, you know? So, anyway, I know that's true too. It's just like my other friends, like, they start talking after a while, even if they didn't know me right away, but some of them did. The funny thing is now, there's certain people that Doug has met around that I already knew from my past. And so he could be talking about me, not knowing that these people know me. And that can go against him as far as trying to barter or play. He will try to get the best deal he possibly can. It's just like this truck that we're borrowing to a friend. He isn't doing it out of the kindness of his heart. He's doing it because if I leave here, Dave is the only other person that he could maybe count on to help him with anything. That's why. That's how narcissists always operate. They're always looking for their next supply, period. I'm sure this man that is with this gal today, he might have a clue or he might not that he could be expendable or his wife could be expendable as far as the predator nature of these people. That's how they are. And that's why I'm talking about it. So it wasn't easy, meeting somebody brand new and having to say that. What it makes me actually look like, but not really on the other hand, because people aren't stupid either, even if they pretend to be, you know. I just know that there's people that have been betrayed out there, and you know just what I'm going through, and um, you know that I'm putting some calamine lotion on a bug bite, and you know that it. No matter what you do, whether you stay or go, I mean, if something's that, let's put it this way: some people can live in a relationship where one person is shady, half truths, part truths, type of thing, and they'll be okay with it. I'm not that person. So I don't know how other people do that, and if you do, please don't expect me to be okay with it. I've never been, you know. So yeah, it's just like I was talking about. Oh, and then all of a sudden yesterday, Doug said to me, um, "No, no, I'm not God." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "And everybody else isn't either, right?" I said, yesterday we were all gods, and now today we're not. I said, "Yeah, until you get backed in the corner and you have to tell the truth to everybody. Yep, the little games that are going on, and here's one thing too. I don't know your view on changing, uh, blocking puberty in children or that type of thing that these people are doing to their own kids, but that's child abuse. Period. I don't care what that little kid thinks. And whatever. They were not born that way. You can say, and I'm going to die knowing that there are boys and girls, period, no matter what you say. There's even gay people that are fighting out against this now. It's like, stop, that's child abuse, period. You know? And I know you all know what I'm talking about is true. Even gay people that wouldn't put their private life up on display to encourage little people, if they're truly in that amount of hell that some people are, or they feel trapped in a different body or anything, the last thing a person in pain would want to do would be to display their pain to a child. You know, when a child has pain, they go to their mother and their father and maybe a professional, but not just somebody's opinion because it's the agendas, propaganda that they're pushing that we're all supposed to go along with. I'm not doing it. I am not using your flippin' pronouns. If it's man, woman, girl, boy, child, adult, you know, but your made up pronouns, nope. The only pan gender is a made up, fictitious entity that wants you to be something God did not make you. And you can argue till your hair turns blue or whatever color you want to dye it. Don't care. I really don't care. And personally, I don't care what you do. I really don't. I don't hate anybody. Stay the fuck away from the kids. That's simple, right? Isn't it simple? Now people are going to be hating me because I refuse to use your little games that Satan's trying to push on everybody. I don't give a shit if if 90% of the population is bisexual, 99 and 9/10 and only 1% of 1/10 knows how we were made. I don't care if it's that few. I am still not going along with more than one or two genders. You know, one each. I don't care what kind of mongoloid they want to try and create in your brain, you know, or because of your past experiences, what type of your melatonin, serotonin, or not melatonin, serotonin neurons, how they're firing in there because of things you've been through or whatever. You really need to examine your life. There's only two genders. It's an absolute fact. And you can tell by the chromosomes. That's an absolute fact. You know? How many gay men are going to come out and tell you that they've had bisexual relations because they were annihilated when they were little, or females, or that the other gender had annihilated them and that's why? Very few will actually come out and give you their true reasons. Born this way is not a reason, you know? I hate my mother is a reason. My ex partner was scummy to me is a reason. You know, there's actual reasons. You know, I admired somebody when I was little that was on TV that was like that is a reason. I can make money by betraying human beings. That's a great big reason. But if everybody's honest and you keep it away from the children, we don't have to have any reasons. It's really not an issue, and it shouldn't even be brought up in the schools at all. The public, in public servants for the people have no business whatsoever teaching any kind of sex education to our children at all, not ever. That's up to us individually as parents or grandparents. If my grandchildren's mothers don't want them to hear how grandma feels, well, then they can say differently. Or if they don't want me in the kids' life, then that would be their decision. But unless that happens, they're going to hear what this grandma's got to say about it. You know, because I do have a rather amazing um, granddaughter that is rather disturbed at everything that's going on. And because of a head injury, she's actually handicapped. And she has been taken advantage of with all this shit that's going on and the impressionable people that are going to be affected by these types of things. She's okay now in a sense, but a lot of the weird things that are going on, children need more help emotionally than they're getting with this entire pronoun fucking bullshit. You know, parents got to be strong. You know, if you um care about the future and not having little people confused, what? I'm asking you to really, I'm not saying examine or bully or anything at all. If you ever try and paint me like that, you don't know me at all. And I've been exposing myself every day about as raw as you can get, about the deepest anybody would ever show you themselves. That's how I am. I really do expect the same, but people aren't like that, you know. Who cares, right? But yeah, the little people, they're the ones that are gonna suffer here and are suffering here, and it's totally going unnoticed. It's being pushed as normal, and there's nothing normal about it at all. And it is abuse all the way around. You know it. Who's straight that hasn't been abused by somebody that's not? Can you raise your hand and tell me you haven't? Or that none of this has um, not just made you uncomfortable because of what they were doing and that we're supposed to accept it, but made you uncomfortable because you never wanted to see anything like that in your life and you're family minded, and it does insult your soul, you know. It's true. You know, we all have our own opinions of this, and you know, I might have not even felt so strongly about this 20 years ago. Maybe when I was about 54, I wasn't quite as staunch on the situation. But now the way things are like way out of control, and what I've seen generations of people in the same families go through and different things, I'm not backing down now at all, not ever. There's two genders, period. and even the ones that are gay or bisexual, if they care about the future, they're going to keep it away from the little people, and we'll all get along. And that's a fact. So I don't care who says what. If you're outside of what I just said, I in my life, you're outside of my life. You're about as far away from um what I deem to be the laws of God. And that's not hurting little children emotionally, physically, know how. Teach your children well, you know? Because the old saying, if you don't, somebody else is going to. And from experience, I wasn't taught absolutely well when I was young. There's some things that I ended up doing that were way wrong that I had seen done around me with no ramifications, you know. But when you're little, you don't know those things, you know. When you grow up, you sure do. If you have any doubt what I'm saying, if you believe in God, ask Him. It's simple. Just ask Him to show you the truth, not through me. You don't have to believe me. Ask the God, the the God in your heart, your soul, who governs your soul, that spirit that guides you, and then be careful of the answers you get because they're both going to try and answer you, and they're both going to try and give you reasons why. But it is the quiet feeling, the one that's not a naggy, lying bitch, that will, the quiet one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I really do. Liars are disgusting to me. Even leaving things out of a situation, it's all like if I went somewhere and some guy came pulling up here, some guy and lady that I had met, and that was on a different situation. Whoa, you have no idea the hell I would go through. I'm not going to say a word. It will bring it up when it gets back. It'll be the one to broach the subject because I'm not going to say nothing. And I'm still going to try not to say nothing. But I know it's going to bother me tonight because it has a guilty conscience. That's the way. And I have noticed when I get attacked, he has been doing and thinking retarded shit, and then I pay for it. So that's a little weird, and a lot of people would think, well, but it is true. It's very true. I just can't prove it. You know? So still, if anybody wants to make payments on half my house, if it's enough of a payment, I mean, there's room. We could make a written contract when that half is paid. And then if you wanted to buy the other half from Doug, you and him could deal on it like that. But the offer is open. I'm serious. We'd be able to have a garden or animals, whatever. You know? So I'm totally serious. But anyway, before February, I'll be getting stuff from the Social Security Administration anyway, paperwork and all that. So, I mean, I could speed it up, and I thought about it. I was doing stuff online, and then I realized because of my house fire, I have to do things like get a birth certificate, a copy. Um, and I did have one other copy, and my some other paperwork from Pine City Community College and stuff that ended up missing one time. And I'm thinking, did my kids throw it out or did Doug throw it out? It was up on a shelf that nobody should have ever touched. It was really weird. There was some other kind of paperwork in there too, um, like important stuff, but it was like weird, weird, and I never could find it again, like, okay. And I had my one kid take my wedding ring set and hid it somewhere on me and said he like threw it away or I can't remember what it was, but it was weird. It's like one and I think he got that from his dad took my ring one time and different marriage and put it under the trailer. We were living in a trailer park and I looked all over for that thing and then later he gave it back or something. I think he just wanted to keep me busy. Probably was had to make a phone call or do some kind of shady deal or something. I don't know. These people I've been around, I don't know. That's why I'm talking about it. Like I said, I have nobody to talk to. Fucking sucks. But yeah, I keep busy and anyway. Well, thank you for joining me. I might get back on here later. I did have some other things that were on my mind, but when that just happened to me, I mean, it's nice to meet new people, but it isn't nice being embarrassed while it's happening. You know, that's the painful part. I'm sensitive. It did almost make me cry. It's like this fucking so fucking sucks. But oh well. Embarrassing. Horrible. I hate it. You ever been in that situation? Try being in it too many times to even I couldn't even recall the so many times out of everybody I've known. It's crazy. Even my dad that raised me was like that a lot to my mom. So okay, I'm gonna let you go. In case I run out of time, I want to tell you thank you for joining me. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Talk to you soon. Thanks again.